Hello, welcome to day 1 of Drawing Daily. I wanted to get better at art, so I'm going to make one drawing per day until I think I'm good enough at it. We're starting off with a drawing of Link from The Legend of Zelda. This one is not supposed to look good. I mean, it's my first drawing in this whole thing, so of course it's not gonna look good, but I think I did a pretty good job, for my standards. I'm usually pretty good at just, regular small-scale pixel art, and less so with large drawings, but I think this is a good start. Let's make some progress. Welcome to day 2 of Drawing Daily. Yesterday's video was very well received, so I was so excited to get into drawing today. Today I'm doing Roaring Knight from Deltarune, and this one is a lot of fun to draw. I especially like the head because it's just like a square but rotated, and then it has the antlers. And then I had this neat idea, the Breath of the Wild key art where it's just like brush strokes of it. That's what I was going for with this. I think it turned out great. I can't wait to see where this series goes. Today I'm doing a viewer suggestion. Cam Plays Games wants me to draw Zoro from One Piece. Now, I've never seen One Piece before, but given the fact that this guy has Zoro as his PFP, I knew that this guy takes this guy really seriously. So I tried my hardest. I will say that I tried to give it a more dynamic pose than the previous drawings, which have just been pretty straightforward positions, and I feel like it did kind of make it look a little worse. But I put him on a boat because it's One Piece, so of course he's on a boat. Can you tell I haven't seen this show? Anyways, hope you enjoy the drawing. Today I'm doing a suggestion to draw Goku from Lucid Dreamer. First of all, I love that username and profile picture combo. That's amazing. Second of all, I drew Goku sitting down, and also holding a deck of cards. Because I got another guest here. Faz Fire and Art wants me to draw Freddy Fazbear. So I couldn't choose which one I wanted to do, so I just did both of them. And what better activity for Goku and Freddy Fazbear to do together than play cards? Then I messed around with lighting for a while until I got something that worked. And now I got this. I think it turned out good. Today I got another suggestion from Faz Fire and Art asking me to draw Bonnie, so I did. This is a more simple one today. I didn't really feel like drawing that much. This one also does offer to draw something I want them to draw, but I don't really have any suggestions. But if you want, you could draw my avatar. I'd be interested in seeing your take on it. Today I'm drawing Zooble from The Amazing Digital Circus. And also, yesterday I did a suggestion from Faz Fire and Art to draw Bonnie from FNAF, and they asked if they had anything that they could draw for me. And I didn't really have anything, but I did say they could draw my avatar, Orion, if they wanted. And they did, and it looks awesome. After 2.5 years of doing YouTube across 2 separate YouTube channels, I have never received any fan art before, so I'm very grateful for that. Anyways, I tried drawing Zooble without any outlines to match their kind of, wonky design, and I think I did a pretty good job at that. Anyways, this is how Zooble turned out. See you tomorrow! It's almost midnight and I forgot to draw today. Oh my god, I got so distracted. So I got so many suggestions, but I don't have time for that, so I'm just drawing Dave. I'm going with the flow, and I'm just gonna draw it, and I'm gonna see what, oh no, this is horrible, oh no. Yeah, it's God Tier Dave. It's, this isn't Dave, this is Dove. This is Dove Stroder. I'm giving him his best friend, and, don't want to spoil anything. Carcat, Corcott, I suppose. And I messed around with the background for a while, and I forgot a mouth, and I tried to color in the teeth, but I messed up. My phone on the desk just ruined the audio recording. I can't let my streak die, less than a week into it. Here it is. Rat with Gun 3020 wants me to draw Astro from Astrobot. And I thought this would be a great idea, because Astro is simple to draw. And also I've heard a lot of good stuff about his game. I don't personally own a PS5 or the game, but it does look like a lot of fun. But that's not all we're doing today, because Parrot and Stuff wants me to draw N from Murder Drones. And I love doing anything, so I'm just gonna draw it. I haven't necessarily watched Murder Drones past episode 3 either. I follow the 3-episode rule. If you watch 3 episodes and it's not your thing, then you shouldn't feel required to watch more of it. And I find that I liked Digital Circus because its take on horror was a lot different from your traditional, super violent, super dark areas and stuff, which is why stuff like the Gaslight District and Murder Drones and Knights of Guinevere don't really hit the same for me. Digital Circus tries to be bright, cheery, and colorful while still providing that horror aesthetic, and I really like that. But out of the bit of it that I did watch, I did really like N. I don't know why, I just really enjoy his personality. Maybe it's just because I like Michael Kovac a lot. Cam Plays Gamzee would like to know what my favorite Digital Circus character is, and that would have to be hands down Gangle. Not only does Gangle enjoy being creative and have a lot of OCs and stuff, much like me, but Gangle also struggles like depression and stuff, and not liking her own personality, and like a lot of stuff that I have struggled with in my life, so I find her very relatable to me. Additionally, I like Jax, but like that's a more basic answer because he's like basically the main character at this point. And also, I already made the joke about me liking Michael Kovac last time, so. But yeah, this time I wanted to mess around with some gradients to try to make a nice Gangle drawing. And I think me like adding gradients to like literally everything made this one like look very unique and almost three-dimensional. And I like the way it turned out. See you tomorrow! I forgot again. I'm sick, and it's almost midnight, so here is just like me drawing an OC because I know that whatever this is gonna be really rushed, so I'd rather draw something of mine than draw one of your suggestions. And today I'm drawing my OC Jiko. Jiko is 19 years old. He is male, although his character design does look very androgynous. Not in this drawing though, I accidentally made him look a little more feminine than he actually is. His hairstyle is very similar to that of Rosalina's from Mario Galaxy. He suffers from bipolar depression. His favorite colors are yellow, pink, and orange. I don't want to go too in depth with his story, because I want to keep it vague, It's hard to explain right now. I'll probably go into more detail about why later, but let's just say I don't really want to spoil anything. Giving him a spear, because that's his primary weapon. Spear has like wings on it. That's another design choice based on story related stuff. Wears jeans. But if we're drawing Jiko, then you know what has to go with Jiko. We gotta draw Jiko's satchel, and we have to put Laska, his cat, inside of it. He loves Laska. If you want to see more OCs, then I got plenty. But that's all for today. It is almost midnight, like 10 minutes as of recording this. I gotta finish. I'm still a little sick, but let's see who we're drawing today. And it looks like we're finally doing Purple Guy. Bonnie FNAF 26 has been requesting Purple Guy for a while, so I'm happy to finally do it for them. I looked up reference images for this guy, and I was met with probably the most atrocious pixel art I've ever seen. Like, I get that's supposed to look like Atari 2600, but jeez. I used my limited knowledge of the FNAF universe to draw a pretty interesting take on his character. It doesn't appear that there's like an actual HD version of his design, so I made it on my own. And I think I did a pretty neat job. Alright, welcome to Drawing Daily, day 12, and today we're gonna have to draw Jax. I didn't really do that many interesting things for this one. I did do this really cool layering thing that is reminiscent to the way the actual 3D model for Jax is designed, where I made a yellow Jax head with just like the drawings of his facial features, and then put purple Jax head on top of it and cut out holes for the shape of the facial features. And that made it look a lot more accurate to the way Jax actually looks. But other than that, I don't think that there's that much to say about this.
because the previous two Digital Circus drawings I've done were both inside of the tent. I drew this one outside of the tent because I thought that would be more interesting. And yeah, that's just about it. See you tomorrow!
What the heck?
Okay, so I messed up. I was drawing the Castle Crashers, but I forgot to press record. So it was basically done, because everyone has just copy and pasted the same thing. And something important about learning how to draw is learning when to just reuse the stuff you've already done. Anyways, amazing suggestion, by the way. I completely forgot about this game, and it felt like almost surreal hearing about it again. But yeah, I love this game. It brought back so many memories. Well then, see you tomorrow! Today we're doing a weird one. I've received multiple comments from TheArtist15 to draw their PFP, so I guess I'm doing that now. This is a one-time thing, I just want to say. I don't want the comments to be filled with people saying, draw my PFP, draw my PFP. Look, I'd much rather be drawing characters that I know rather than people's OCs, and while it is a cool character design, I don't mind this one, I'd much rather you insert a character that you like or something. I've been thinking of many ways of explaining this, because I have previously requested that someone draws my OCs, and they did. So I'm trying to say this in a way that doesn't make it seem like I'm a hypocrite, but I'd much rather get character suggestions than people's OC suggestions. I've been struggling finding a way to like balance just like drawing whatever I want, drawing what people suggest. And if we got the third party of just like drawing things I have no idea what they are, that would just make things even more complicated. But yeah, I actually liked this drawing. I think it turned out pretty good. But I will say that if you have an OC and you want to see it drawn professionally, there are so many commission artists out there that you can get a hold of to draw them for you. And each of them is waiting for someone in your situation. So you should go ahead and check out that market if this is the sort of thing you're into. Trust me, you'll get a lot better results than just asking me. I love the way this one turned out, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Today we're drawing John Marston from Red Dead Redemption, and this one sure did turn out interesting. I've never drawn a high fidelity character before besides myself. I feel like it was very up to interpretation on how I wanted to go about, translating him into this art style. But I think I did a decent job. I did accidentally make the head too small at first, but I enlarged it later. I'm not particularly good at drawing facial hair, especially subtle facial hair, I've discovered, but I feel like it turned out alright. I really like the way his eyebrows turned out, especially in combination with its eyes. I feel like his hair might be a little too gray, but it turned out alright. And overall, I think I did a pretty good job with this one. Not perfect, but one of these ever. I'm still learning. And I think this one is pretty good for a different kind of drawing, being an adaptation of a character. Rather than just drawing the character in my art style, I have to find out how to translate it properly, and so that's a very different thing than, just taking a character from a different cartoon. Anyways, see you tomorrow.
You eat babies.
So BB from FNAF is probably the thing that has been on the wheel the longest, and is the oldest suggestion that I haven't done yet. And that means I was very excited to figure out what this character was, only to realize it's just a rotund little boy giving out balloons. Okay, of course it's like a puppet thing, because FNAF, but it is just a little boy giving out balloons. So yeah. Here's Balloon Boy. There's not really much to say about him. It wasn't really that interesting of a process drawing him. And it's also getting really late, so I should probably get this out soon. See you tomorrow! So today, the Radiator Orion channel has hit 50 subscribers. And that is big for me, because that is the amount of subscribers my previous YouTube channel had gotten. All of that YouTube channel's connections to this YouTube channel is completely gone because I want to remain more anonymous here. However, I would just like to say that in 2.5 weeks, this channel has gained as many subscribers from uploading consistently as I did uploading consistent long forms on my previous channel for 2.5 years. So I need to express just how grateful I am for all of your guys' help and contributions to growing this channel. It's a start, and I have a long way to grow from here, but I am excited to see where this goes. And hey, the larger it gets, the faster it's going to continue growing from there. So, I wouldn't be surprised if it's that long until we see us hit 100 subscribers. So I'm thinking of setting a goal. 100 subscribers by April. That leaves the entirety of March. I personally think it would be really neat if I could do that. I especially enjoy how I've grown like an actual community on this channel. You know, with like commenters who like come back and comment again on new videos. That is something I was never able to do on my previous channel, while still really wanting to do. And hey, it's not out of the question that I'll upload on my previous channel again, just probably nothing important. Anyways, see you tomorrow, and thank you for 50 subscribers. I wrote Xianpao on the wheel with question marks because I didn't know what it was, but it was a pleasant surprise to find out that it was a Pokemon. And a really cool Pokemon at that. However, I do think I kind of messed up its design a little. It just looks a little goofy, and I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. I also totally messed up the layering when it came to designing the diamonds on it. But all in all, I think I did a decent job. I say all in all a lot. It's a weird phrase. All in all. 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 Oh yeah, see you tomorrow. Today I am drawing Moon Knight. And wow, I completely forgot about that show, but that show was so good. Such a shame it's never getting another season. However, I think that this comment might have been motivated by Marvel Rivals, because that made the character a lot more popular again. But I've never played Marvel Rivals, and the Moon Knight show is basically my only knowledge of the character. I used some circle tool tricks to make the moons all over him because he's got a lot of moon insignia. And I don't really have much to say about this other than I really like his character design. It's so cool because it's got like the hood that looks like the Assassin's Creed guy. Never played Assassin's Creed, but you know what I mean. And then like the deserty night outfit, and just like being a character of like the mythology of like Egyptian stuff in just like a world where there's so many like Norse gods and stuff. It's so interesting and unique and cool. Anyways, that's this drawing. I don't really have much to say about it. I never really have much to say about any of these drawings, really. Hey, can I rant about feet for a while? Okay, so I have a tendency to just like tear off my toenails with my own fingernails because I don't often bother going to go get the clippers. Well, apparently that is something you should not be doing, and I am now suffering the consequences of that. So basically, for the past few months, anytime I'd roll my left big toe over, it would send this like strange feeling of like kind of pain, but like just like mostly in a small shock form, and I wouldn't really think of it as pain, so I'd just like do it for, you know, sensory purposes as like a stress reliever. But earlier today when I was going to the doctor to get my meds upped because I have anxiety and depression problems, I brought up to my mom that I have that issue with my foot, and upon getting it checked out by the doctor, apparently I have an ingrown toenail, meaning my toenail is growing into my skin. And that little feeling I get, that is some exposed nerve endings just like on the outside. Yeah, fun. Not to mention I had a cold like a week ago, so the universe just can't stop being cruel to me right now. Anyways, I drew Hollow Knight with his nail infected because I relate to that right now. Okay, bye. Why do I heart every comment? While I don't get that many negative comments, it is noticeable that literally every comment on this channel has been hearted. And my reason for that is very simple. I heart all of the positive ones to show my gratitude, and as for negative ones, or ones that have ambiguous meaning, I tend to just, heart them anyways. Because on YouTube Studio, when you have a comment that hasn't been replied to in any way, it will be shown front and center. And because I heart every positive comment, that will never be a positive comment. Meaning, unless I respond to it in some way, which I don't want to go back at someone who dislikes me to say something else mean, because that's unnecessary. And I do not want to just take down the comments and silence people who don't like me, because that's also not a cool thing to do. So I personally choose to heart the comments, because when YouTube Studio is showing it front and center, whenever I want to check my analytics, it really does get discouraging. Like, it doesn't matter how good the analytics are, if the first thing you see when you open the app is yikes, or, well, at least you tried your best, it really gets you down. But if I were to add up every mean and non-constructive commenter, I'd say that's just about 5 individual comments. Because despite how many comments I've gotten, you guys are so chill and nice. Like, sure, sometimes you recommend stuff that I've got no idea what they are, or you completely misunderstand a video. For example, I don't think any of the commenters on yesterday's video got that it was a joke, and to be fair, I think because it was late I didn't execute the joke that well. But I rewrote the joke in comic form to make it more understandable. Anyways, I'm grateful for all your comments. And today, Steve ended up winning the wheel, so I drew Steve with the diamond sword. This is an interpretation of Steve, because I didn't just want to draw it like the Minecraft skin. So I interpreted parts of the Minecraft skin, like the beard, and the eyes, and the hair, and the shirt. I even made it so that the shirt tucks down over the pants in the same way that it does on the skin. Anyways, I think it turned out alright. Definitely does look a little bland or off-putting. It looks like one of those things that you'd see in an ad for something, like a Google pop-up, if you know what I mean. Anyway, see you tomorrow. It's time, the moment you've been waiting for, the CCTV security camera. Yeah, a long time ago I got the comment to draw a CCTV security camera, and it's been on the wheel ever since. So now it's finally been pulled up, and now we're gonna draw the CCTV security camera. The perfect camera for all of your security needs. It keeps 24-hour track of your entire house. Wait a minute, this isn't sponsored. I probably shouldn't be advertising for them. Anyways, I did some neat gradient things with the camera lens and tried to add in as many details as I could from the reference images that I had. I then shaved away a lot of it and came up with this design. I hope you enjoy it. And remember, smile for the camera, it's always watching. Today I'm drawing Darwin from The Amazing World of Gumball. I've never actually seen this show before. Apparently it's pretty good, but that's just me taking from what I've heard other people say about it online. When I was younger, I just thought it was just more Teen Titans Go slop, but if this is apparently a good show, maybe I'd be interested in watching it. Once I graduated out of Disney Junior cartoons, the only cartoons I ever watched in my life was Phineas and Ferb, and then I liked that so much I went to watch Milo Murphy's Law. And then a few years ago I saw Amphibia, but that's just about it. So I have a lot of cartoons to catch up on. I want to watch Gravity Falls and stuff, I just haven't gotten there yet. I am still in the process of reading Homestuck, and that is taking up all my media literacy for now. Maybe I'll watch this one day. I also feel like it's important to mention there are only 3 characters left on the wheel. So there's going to be a community poll that I'm going to be releasing later today, and it is going to feature all 3 of the contestants, Vox, Krogunk, and Spamtenna, and you guys will vote to choose which one you guys want to see first, and then I'll do the other 2 in the order of the highest to lowest score. Can't wait to see which one you choose. And the winner of the vote by quite the large margin is Vox from Hazbin Hotel. So Parrot, it appears that today is your lucky day. This was a really fun one to draw because I had the idea to like actually slant the screen because this guy's a TV head. So if I were to just draw the head normally and then slant the screen a little bit to like create it at an angle rather than drawing it at an angle initially, I thought that would give a very unique visual look. So I did that, and I think it turned out great. I did struggle with the eyes for a while. I went for a very limited color palette, and I think I did a neat job. I took some liberties with the outfit, specifically because I just didn't want to draw the whole thing. I think this guy looked great. I personally have never seen Hazbin Hotel. There's a chance I may have like watched the pilot a long time ago, but I don't really remember. I will probably get to it eventually. I have seen other works of theirs, like the Homestuck pilot, and I gotta say, this character design is really good. I think I'd put this like second place to Tenna with my favorite TV head design. Anyway, see you tomorrow when we'll be drawing Krogunk.
So I've had a stroke.
And today we're drawing Krogunk from Pokemon. I really like this Pokemon. I think I've seen him before a few times, unlike the previous Pokemon that I've drawn. But yeah, I think this one turned out pretty good. Again, I went for this minimalistic color palette, where I just went with like the essential colors that I need to get the drawing done. And I didn't throw in a bunch of random other colors just to make it look nice. I think that cleaned up the drawing quite a bit. Took me a while to get the face looking right, but after looking at the right reference material, I think I made something pretty good. What do you mean that there was something else on the wheel? There was nothing else on the wheel. Okay, I get it. I get it. If you've seen the previous videos, you may have noticed that there is something else on the wheel that hasn't been done yet. But here's the thing. I've already like rolled that one like numerous times. It's a joke. I'm not gonna do it. I would never. I'm absolutely not gonna.
How do I get through one night without you? If I had to live without you, what kind of life would that be? Oh, and I need you in my arms, need you to hold. You're my world, my heart, my soul. If you ever leave, baby, that would take away everything good in my life. Without you, there'd be no sun in my sky. There'd be no love in my life. There'd be no world left for me. Oh, and baby, I don't know what I would do
Okay, today seems like a good day to do another OC. Today's character is Milo Carter, a character I developed a long time ago. This guy is a 13-year-old, and he's obsessed with stuff like adventure and magic and the idea of being a wizard, which eventually comes true when he ends up going on this crazy fantasy adventure with his friends. He's also a puppy, because he lives in a world of anthropomorphic characters. And because I know what you're thinking right now, yeah, I don't care. He is immensely cute, he loves playing with friends, and he's very childish. Now, I have used an altered version of this character before for fanfic purposes, and I wanted to give him a bit of a design overhaul, because, you know, the more I draw his altered humanoid design for a fanfic of a specific franchise that you may have heard about, but I'm not going to outright advertise, the more detached I feel like it becomes from the original character. He initially had glasses, but the more I tried to draw the glasses, the more it felt like it was invoking personality traits that he doesn't actually have. So I ended up scrapping the glasses, but I later replaced it with freckles, which I feel like added that little bit of, you know, contrast to his face. I then realized that his face was literally just a gradient, so I did have to color it in for a while. I really cared about this drawing, so I tried to avoid any artifacting, which if you look closely at my previous drawings, you'd notice that there's artifacting everywhere. And this is his finished drawing. I hope you like it. For reference, this is pre-redesign, and this is after redesign. It is the penultimate day of the first month of drawing daily, and I already feel like I've grown so much as an artist. Today I'm drawing Carcat Vantis from Homestuck. This drawing was greatly inspired by yesterday's drawing because I just love the way it turned out. And so I'm thinking I'm shifting my art style a little bit to make it look a little more like that. Because usually I do that V-shaped chin thing, but the circular head on yesterday's drawing turned out really good. So I'm trying it on a Homestuck character. I think the hair was alright. I just traced over his usual hair. Then gave him his horns. Then I gave him his eyes. And I wish I gave him my art style's eyes, like the Animal Crossing eyes, but I chose not to. I call them Animal Crossing eyes because they don't have any bottom line, much like the Animal Crossing eyes. Yeah, I feel like that was kind of self-explanatory. Gave him his eye bags, and then I gave him a jacket, very inspired of what he wears in S-Jade Talk in Homestuck Beyond Canon, but I did add some of my own ideas to it. For example, I added the, cancer symbol on the jacket as an emblem there. That might be in the Jade Talk design, I haven't seen it that much. Anyways, here it is. Hope you like it.